My plan to fix the problem in Flint starts with expediting the replacement of the pipes, refurbishing the replacement of bottled water until every pipe is replaced.
She's been governor for 7 years. Hasn't reopened the Flint water stations. She could have done it on day one. Didn't reopen them. You see there that she mentioned we're going to expedite the removal of all the lead pipes in Flint. That was 2018.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
So wine moms, resistance libs, if you're going to be triggered by us dare criticizing a Democrat, now is the time to exit the building. Gretchen Whitmer appeared in D.C. today to offer her industrial policy. I don't know exactly what she was doing. Let's be honest. It's the kickoff to her 2028 ambitions. Gavin Newsom started it with his podcast, cradling Steve Bannon and other people's balls. And now you have Gretchen Whitmer out there. So let's just show one or two of those clips, her in D.C.
I came to D.C. because I really believe in our ability to bridge political divides and make lasting progress. And yes, I do believe that. Even in my 7th year as governor, in this tumultuous time in this country and around the globe, I still believe that. And I remain guided by the values that I learned growing up in a bipartisan household in the Midwest. Values of decency, respect, and kindness still shape the way that I approach this work, and it helps me make sure I stay focused on what matters so we can get things done.
That bipartisan dinner table, if only I could be there. And we're going to get to her decency and kindness because, hint, hint, it's all an act. But she was there. I don't really understand why. She met with Trump, I guess, about tariffs. Here's the article. Gretchen Whitmer encourages more U.S. production during Washington, D.C. address. I don't particularly know why she needed to go to D.C. for that. She proposed some proposals. Colin, let's play the other clip.
As a former state legislator, I worked with a Republican governor in Michigan to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. This covers hundreds of thousands of Michiganders. As a governor, I worked with a Republican-led legislature most of my time as governor. I've signed over 1,500 bipartisan bills and enacted 6 balanced budgets into law. Michiganders have an opportunity, and I believe an obligation, to lead by example and show the folks in D.C. how we get things done. Before we dig into some of my proposals today, I need to acknowledge
Okay, so let me show you how she got things done. And sorry, Democrats, if you're watching, this is not a safe place, as I said, so I'm here to tell you the truth. We can't just, ignore the predators on our side because Trump's a fascist. We could walk and chew gum at the same time, and this person is not your friend. Let's start with Flint, Michigan, which is now, it's April 9th. So in 2 weeks, it will be 11 years officially since Flint, Michigan has had toxic water. Yes, don't believe the headlines. They still have toxic water in Flint, Michigan. Cancer is surging because of the government poisoned them. And a brilliant author wrote a book called We the Poisoned, exposing the Flint water cover-up, which you should definitely buy. Also available on audio.
Still on my signed copy.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be me. I wrote that book. It was based on 9 years of reporting, and I hear it's good. Okay. So let's show you what Gretchen Whitmer said when she was a candidate in 2017 about what she was going to do for Flint, if you have that.
So I think about the parents of Flint every time I turn on my tap. I was in Flint at church a couple months ago, and I was talking to a mom. She pulled her sleeve up and showed me the rash up and down her arm from taking a shower that morning before church. She only bathes her kids once a week because they all break out like that. My plan to fix the problem in Flint starts with expediting the replacement of the pipes, refurbishing the replacement of bottled water until every pipe is replaced, and real wraparound supports for the children of Flint. 8,000 children in Flint brush their teeth every night with water that had lead on it. And you know what? They called the Attorney General. They asked 15 times. They filed complaints over the course of 2 years and were ignored. He signed off on the initial order.
So for those that don't know, Walter, 2017 is living in the past. Yeah, why not? Let's not live in the past of the whole poison city, right? Who fucking cares? It's the past. Get lost. Okay, so she was saying there, I'm going to reopen the free water stations, which the poison people of Flint depended on for clean water, because the governor before her, Rick Snyder, who presided over poisoning them, who covered it up, which I exposed in my book, he shut down all those centers around Flint where residents could go and get free bottled water, which you're not only using to drink, you're using it for cooking, you're using it for bathing in many cases, you're using it for brushing your teeth. So people needed free bottled water. She pledged that she was going to reopen them. She's been governor for 7 years. Hasn't reopened the Flint water stations. She could have done it on day one. Didn't reopen them. You see there that she mentioned we're going to expedite the removal of all the lead pipes in Flint. That was 2018, that protest. The lead pipes, meaning the service lines, those are the water pipes that go from your curb into your home. They were all busted. They should have replaced all the main pipes that run underneath the street. They also should have replaced all the pipes inside the home, the internal plumbing, because all of it was destroyed by essentially acid water. Okay. The state did nothing about replacing the service lines until last year, 6 years into her governorship. Hey, great talk about her bipartisan dinner table, but she didn't fucking follow through on her promises to Flint. They still haven't changed the pipe. Her attorney general, which I'm here to tell you folks, they're not independent. They talk. Her attorney general sabotaged the criminal investigation and let all the criminals off that poisoned these poor people. And Whitmer said nothing about it. So she hasn't done jack shit for Flint. And I'm here to show you, don't take it from me. You want to know how clean the water in Flint is? Colin, let's play the video from January of this year.
Cold water. Wow. That was a deceleration.
There's your clean water in Flint. And I want to be clear. It's not all Gretchen Whitmer's fault. She didn't cause the crisis, but you ran on fixing it. You haven't done butkus. So a couple, 2-3 years ago, I forget, I had people from Kalamazoo, Michigan messaging me while I was in Flint. Hey, Jordan, there's a packaging company, a paper mill that's releasing really, really smelly gas into the north side of Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo's on the west side of Michigan. And it's so bad, asthma rates in this community are through the roof. COPD is through the roof. Kids have died because of severe asthma. And I looked into it, and literally it's a plant called Graphic Packaging. They make recyclable paperboard, which sounds good. It's good and green, but they didn't have a carbon filter on their plant when they're releasing these gases. And they clearly weren't following regulations because they were releasing all sorts of crazy levels of gas. Colin, let's play we have a lot of new subscribers, so you might know nothing about this story. Let's play the first, I think, the Twitter clip.
And this is at whatever time it is now, probably 6 o'clock. What is being released from that plant?
There's over 30 different toxic gases and chemicals: sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, methyl mercaptan, all kinds of VOCs that cause cancer. The list is so long. Toluene, the list is long, and every single one of the toxic gases or toxic chemicals cause a disease like cancer, respiratory disease, kidney disease, you name it.
Your son also is 32. He's on life support. Can you talk about what his health was before you moved closer and how it has gone downhill since then?
Well, before we moved here, my son's health was perfect. It wasn't nothing he didn't do. He always was healthy. He was always going and doing. And then One day we was getting ready to go to Ramona Beach, and he loved going to the beach, so I called his name, like, DeAndre, we ready, let's go. And there was no response. So I sent a guy that called me Mom. I sent him up there to see why DeAndre wasn't answering me. And he yelled down for us to call 911, say DeAndre wasn't breathing. And that's how that all began. He had a severe asthma attack that caused him to stop breathing. And we all went on from there.
And how old was he when that happened?
5 years ago, let's see, he was 32 now.
27, 28?
Yeah, he was about 27.
This poor woman, her 17-year-old daughter died of a severe asthma attack. 17-year-old daughter, perfectly healthy before they moved here. In that clip, she's referencing her 32-year-old son. He has since died.
That poor woman.
I have interviewed people. They can't go outside. We will take a little bit of credit. They were dragging their feet on doing a health study, claiming it was delayed because of COVID. The state health and environmental department, they dragged their feet for 3 years. But when we started reporting on it and kicking and screaming, and also we got a video on Breaking Points about it, suddenly they expedited the health study. And what do you know? The health study found they're releasing elevated levels of toxic gas. What did Gretchen Whitmer's health department tell them to do? What's the solution? Not to shut down the plant. If it's particularly bad, stay inside. That's literally what they told them to do. But it gets worse. Let me repeat for those in the back. Health study shows this multi-billion-dollar packaging company, which Gretchen Whitmer has given significant tax breaks to, by the way. The company, gives to local food banks and charities and colleges, so, employs a lot of people. By the way, Colin was with me. We're literally in the parking lot leaving. A gentleman in the car asks us, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Because we had cameras and stuff. We're telling him, "Oh, we're covering this plant. There's a lot of sick people around here." It's an employee of the company, just realizing because we told him, "Oh, I've been really sick since I started working here." Didn't even know. The employees don't even know what they're releasing. It's because we told them what we were there covering that it dawned on him. And I told him, "Listen, man, I know you did a job, but for your own health, I would get a new job if you can." Anyway, Gretchen Whitmer, despite years of complaints from the local residents, and when I say local residents, poor black people. This is a poor black neighborhood. They were calling the environmental department, complaining to the health department, complaining to local Kalamazoo officials. Crickets. Start complaining to Whitmer. She heard the complaints. Her health department heard the complaints. They sent people there to do sniff tests. Literally, you had environmental department people opening up their window and just sniffing if they smelled something. That was their environmental testing. And they already knew. Her administration knew the complaints that were coming in. There was media reports about it. What are your thoughts on, the Democratic governor approved this plant to expand, knowing the complaints?
Like Brandy was saying yesterday, I think they all in cahoots with each other. I think Graphic Packaging is giving them some type of money up under the table. All of them are working together, if you ask me. Because like I said, I'm going to keep saying it, they don't care if we live or die. But I'm begging y'all to please step up and do something before I lose another child. It's hard for a mother to bury a child, and less known bury two childs. It gets to me every day.
Could you tell me about your daughter, what her name was? What was she like?
My daughter's name was LaPrice Stegall. Everybody around here knew her. She was a loving person. Like I said, she was energetic. She was outgoing. She was just like our whole world. She was like our sunshine. Ever since my daughter been gone, it's like a whole piece of my heart, my inside. Everything is just like cold, black. I just miss her very much.
And unfortunately, tragically, that was, I think, in 2023. And Her second child died too. I'm not a doctor, but I do know they were relatively healthy before they moved a block away from this toxic plant. And there's other people very sick there. And there's been a very high, this neighborhood, the infant mortality rate is much higher than the other parts of Kalamazoo. And I will add, after they expanded this plant, thanks to bipartisan dinner table Whitmer, the white folks started smelling it. So that spread to the west side. So when I've been there 2 or 3 times. I interviewed white folks, not wealthy people either, doing better than the lower income folks in that community. They're getting headaches, not as bad because they're not in the immediate zone, but that gas is spreading because when they expanded it, they were emitting a lot more gas. This is why Status Coup exists. Trust me, I'm not getting rich off of going to Flint and Kalamazoo. These stories are not going viral. Frankly, Ashley, this is probably the first time you've even seen it because you didn't see it in mainstream media. And I promise you, you already have, political pundits doing 2028 rankings for candidates. Gretchen Whitmer's on there. Not a one is going to mention a goddamn thing about this because they don't care. The media does not care. They don't care about Flint, Kalamazoo. They care about when the inciting incident begins. But if it's a Democrat responsible, let's look the other way. I don't care if a Democrat caused it. I don't care if a Republican caused it. I don't care if a fucking purple alien caused it. Bottom line, people are sick because we're allowing corporations to literally poison communities in America. And she's in D.C. talking about her industrial plan or some shit. I think we could do better than Gretchen Whitmer. Sorry about that long-winded montage and rant you had to sit through. Now I think you're getting an idea why I'm so pissed.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there was so much there, and I have a lot of them. I guess my first thought is just that poor fucking woman. Like, losing 2 children so close to each other, 2 children who are, at an age you don't expect your child to die. When you have a baby, I think that's a little bit different in this country. Like, infant mortality rates are not great. But you don't expect your 32-year-old child to just die. That's fucking horrible. And she had mentioned she was calling local health agencies and they don't even respond to her. So it's like part of me wants to say all of this is occurring at a time where there are cuts to, the EPA, all of these agencies that are tasked with protecting us in this way that have the teeth to actually enforce some kind of regulation, but they weren't doing anything. They weren't helping her. So what good did they do then? If as you said, people are coming in and doing smell tests, what the fuck is that? That does not sound official in any sense. And also, we're doing smell tests during and after COVID, when some people have actually permanently lost their sense of smell. That's fucking stupid. As you've said several times, for the people that, are vote blue, no matter who, all of that garbage, this is why I don't feel that way. It's exactly this, because they don't fucking care. They say all of these things about how much they care about working people. They're the party to protect the working class. But when the working class actually needs protection, they're not fucking there. And then in I think the first clip that you showed, you had Whitmer up there, talking about how she thinks of Flint every time she turns on her tap. I think that's what she said. And, she spoke with some woman at church, because of course she said she was at church, who, had a burn or a rash on her arm from bathing before that. And, the woman said, I only bathe my kids once a week because the water's fucking toxic. The gall of her to use that example up there and to be in a position of power to change that for people and not do anything over however many years. She's had 7 years to do something.